has anything better to do than to oppose war. And you're here today to do just that. More important than being an elected official is the 12 years I spent as the director of the Dallas Peace Center. So I want to give a big shout out to the Dallas Peace Center. Many of those activists have been in meetings all day, and they've come here to be with you this afternoon after being inside in the meeting. I want to give a big shout out to the Occupy Dallas folks. I have not been so proud, and I don't know when, as I have been, of the young people in the Occupy movement all over this country. For 30 years, there's been class warfare in this country with nobody willing to speak out. Now you guys are speaking out and saying we're not taking it anymore. We're going to fight back non-violently. We're going to tell the one percenters we're sick and tired of the shrinking abilities, the shrinking opportunities that the middle class have. Ever since we let Ronald Reagan in office in 1980, it's been a downhill spiral for the working middle class in this country. And one of the reasons there's been a downhill spiral has been the uphill spiral of military spending. Spending money on military weapons is counterproductive for any economy. And we have been spending way too much money for too long on weapons of destruction that we build, we own, and we use. That is morally wrong, and it's leading to the disgrace of this country. I am so proud that there's so many of you here today. Iranian immigrants, peace center activists, Occupy people. It is time now to say no more wars, no killing in my name. Let's restore the economy of this country, create jobs, hire more nurses, hire more teachers. Thank you all for being out here this afternoon. Carry on, carry on, carry on.
Our next speaker is Robert Bell. He's an Iraq War veteran and a member of Veterans for Peace. Please welcome Robert Bell.
Bring yourself just a little bit. Can everyone hear me? Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin, I would like to take a moment and have everyone take a second and thank our great organizers and hosts for today, Hadi Jawad, Leslie Harris, and Trish Major. Can we all give them a round of applause, please? I'm not going to take too much of your time. I just prepared a brief statement in support of today's activities. The mistakes of the Iraq occupation and the Afghanistan war did more than end countless lives and drain desperately needed resources. These campaigns gave rise to new and explicit forms of mass manipulation. Over the years, people were not simply allowed to observe our country's actions for the sake of one's own self-reflection. We were hostilely confronted by government officials, congregations, yellow ribbon support groups, and countless others. We were promptly told, pick a side, and I quote, you're either with us or you're with the terrorists. The use of these fear politics pitted culture against culture, sparking off a fact-free xenophobic conflict that begins to rival even the very heights of the 60s and the 60s civil rights movement and anti-war struggle. As a result, our nation's citizenry has developed sharp contrasting positions on everything from occupying public spaces to how much tax is enough for those who have more than enough to pay them. So here we find ourselves again, facing another attempt to take advantage of the splintered American opinion. This new push for action should be of little or no surprise, though it is identical to the drumbeat we heard not so long ago. A glance at the daily headlines should tell you all you need to know. Iran nuclear program stokes U.S. concern. President Obama says, no options off the table on Iran, and sanctions intensify on the Iranian regime. Without question, there are an increasing amount of American and Israeli officials who are ready and willing to attack Iran. The sad truth, which is known by both sides, is that a new attack would be mired with the same reckless tactics and yield the same results of stagnant nation building that has stained our nation for the past decade. Once again, in an attempt to achieve geopolitical ends, Establishment politics, Zionist hawks, and the military-industrial complex have incubated a war fever with the use of mushroom cloud rhetoric. These groups, along with similar groups throughout history, have failed to realize one critical element. Life-changing events joined by resonating unity always flourishes in the wake of false division. So today, I feel that everyone taking part in this National Day of Action is fortunate. We are all fortunate for the growing arrogance of those who support the perpetuation of endless war, for they have made the critical error of greatly underestimating the capabilities of united, peaceful, and compassionate citizens. The depth of representation for peace shown here today is proof of how the national conversation is beginning to change. Our new message is simple and painfully clear. Please repeat with me. No U.S. Israeli war in Iran.
No U.S. Israeli war in Iran.
No sanctions.
No sanctions.
No intervention.
No intervention.
No assassinations.
No assassinations.
As a veteran of 2 Iraq tours, I do not pretend to stand before you as an expert on the use of modern warfare, nor do I make any claims on a special ability to draft universally acceptable foreign policy. However, I am here to ask your help in making sure the sacrifices of all vets, alive, deceased, and those to follow, are not made in vain. Now is our only and best chance to curb this familiar drumbeat of preemptive strike. Now is our turn to speak the loudest and for the longest time. Now it is our turn to give the Colin Powell-style presentation to the world stage. Only this time our words will not be supported by falsehoods. Finally, now is the time we must keep forever in our memories. Because if once again, if we fail to join hands with our brothers and sisters on the other side of the planet, it will be our burden to never forget this moment when the world of peace we so long for was forever lost. Thank you.
I would suggest if, boys and girls, if Newt Gingrich is looking at a difficult 10-year war, I suggest Nutrisystem. Wouldn't that be a smarter choice? If you want an intractable war for Newt, I kid Newt, I served on him during the war, but the thing is he doesn't realize that we're aware of the last 10 years. He thinks, and the bubble in which all of these folks who are calling for this saber rattling think we don't remember the last 10 years in this country. Should it take 10 years for us to do anything? No. Iraq served a purpose for a certain group of people. Afghanistan has served a purpose for a certain group of people. I am so proud of each and every one of you, of the Dallas Peace Center, of CodePINK, of Occupy Dallas, of everyone who's here today, to stop this preemptively and come out and say, you know what? If you're a politician who was silent while we were saber-rattling about Iran, then we're going to hold you responsible for it. So just finally, thanks so much to Hadi Jawad and Leslie Harris for joining me on national radio this week and for doing all this. And boys and girls, let's all just decide together today, we are not going to let this happen again. Not on our watch. There's a reason why Occupy is so strong and will not go away. It's because we are the 99% and they have to listen. Bank of America listened when you started closing bank accounts. The government listened when we saw the inequities in foreclosures. We have to decide to stand up for ourselves. I love the president, by the way. I'm a Democrat. I voted for Barack Obama, and I'll vote for him again. But he won't do anything unless we stand up and make him do it. It's not yes, you can, Barack. It's yes, we can. And we have to continue to stand up. So, great job, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming out. I never thought there would be so many people, and I sure didn't think there would be so many cars. So I really apologize about the parking situation. I missed that one. I want to thank all the groups that endorsed and promoted and supported this. Iranians for Peace, the Dallas Peace Center, CodePINK Women for Peace, Veterans for Peace, Occupy Dallas, North DFW 99%, Pax Christi Dallas, and anybody else? Did I forget anybody? Is there anybody who wants to mention their group? And Iranians for Peace.
Anti-war network.
Campus Anti-War Network. Can you hear?
Occupy now.
North Texas for 9/11 Truth Attack. Occupy Now. And who else? All the occupies. Inter-Occupy, Occupy Everywhere. Occupy Plano. Now DC.
We're here.
The socialists are here. The Democrats are here. We're all here. We're all part of the 99%. And thanks again for coming out.
Well, friends, I'll just make it very, very quick, very, very simple. First of all, thank you so much for coming. We were not expecting these many good people to come over here. And the only thing that it is, we need to put all of our effort together to not see another Iraq war in Iraq, which is going to be a disaster, and nobody knows basically what's going to be the consequences. Saying no to Iranian regime and saying no to this war basically is going to be the slogan that everybody is going to have over here. And definitely, we should have put all of our effort together to stop this war, because this war not only will be profited by the warmonger over here, but also it will help the establishment of the Islamic Republicans. Thank you so much.
As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me the endless skyway. I saw the lonely golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and I rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. The sun comes shining as I was strolling, the wheat fields waving, the dust clouds rolling, the fog was lifting, the voice came chanting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. There was a high wall there, tried to stop me. The sign was painted, said private property, but on the other side it didn't say nothing. This land was made for you and me. In the squares of the city, in the shadow of the steeple, from the relief office, I see my people. And some are grumbling, and some are wondering. This land is still made for you and me. From Occupy Wall Street to Occupy Oakland, Occupy Dallas. People are hoping that if they stand up, a change is coming. This land was made for you and me. This This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me.